Good evening, YouTube family. Welcome to another Two Family Homestead live stream. Woo!
Decided to make some changes this year and tear them down and rebuild them. We were able to come across some rough cut lumber, and we decided we were going to do individual beds this year. So here we've got peppers growing in this bed. We've got strawberries and growing in that bed. Here we've got garlic that was started last fall, growing. We got lettuce, carrots, more lettuce, cabbage.
Okay, everybody, we're getting set up for the show tonight. Here's cookies. We have peanut butter, oatmeal raisin, chocolate chip, and oatmeal coconut. We have pumpkin roll and banana nut roll. We have chocolate covered cherries soaked in moonshine, bourbon balls, Buckeyes, more Buckeyes, Mounds and Almond Joy, peppermint patties, orange cream drops, vanilla cream drops, strawberry and maple flavored brownies, peanut butter fudge, Oreo balls, and we also have in the corner we have 4 different cheesecakes and chocolate covered cherries which were melting. We have a plain cheesecake, a turtle cheesecake, lemon meringue cheesecake,
You're gonna have to talk. It's your turn. Hello, Monday people. Back at it again. It's May 11th, 2020. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Those that are mothers or aunts, sisters, babysitters, foster parents, happy Mother's Day. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Yeah. Shayla, aren't those goodies making you hungry? And she is an awesome baker. This I know firsthand. And next time I see her and she has some stuff out on her table, that's where my money's going. I'm going to be buying goodies from Becky. Cecilia, let's just say I'm uncomfortable. So we'll leave it at that. So without further ado, let's bring out Becky and Robert.
Did you bring the key to open it up?
I think everybody drooled over it, so...
Yeah, but did you bring the key? Or is it, it's locked up in the back there, so can we...
Yeah.
Do I have to break the door or what?
They brought the goodies.
They brought the goodies?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we better let them out so we can get the goodies.
Yeah.
All right, here they are. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So how are things in Kentucky?
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool here too.
Are you in lockdown in your area?
partially. We're not 100% locked down, but close.
So, I'm guessing they probably don't have restaurants open yet, or did they just do that? Did they just open some up?
I'm not sure if it's this week or next week. They're starting to open some.
So.
Yeah, I think ours opens, what, the 21st for outside dining. Which
No,
is
the
stupid.
15th and the
15th and then 21st?
21st, I
Which
think.
sounds stupid to me, but
Yeah.
they're going to take out every other table or what? So
I don't have any idea what they're going to do.
just it's going to be interesting to see what
Nobody
they do.
ever said politicians were smart.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm curious, how have you guys done and survived and doing through this pandemic? I mean, let's face it, this is a historical event. I hope, chances are, it may happen again. I don't know.
This is the sixth week I've been off work. Thankful unemployment's worked for me every time.
Our youngest son, he's been off since, I think, after the first week after they shut everybody, closed the entire nation. He's been off work since then, and he's also been able to get the unemployment. So, and the daughter.
I've been off work for doing lots of honeydews.
Oh yeah.
So you just changed jobs.
Yeah. Went from a desk job to a manual labor job.
From a paying one to, well, not so much.
So can you share with us what your regular job is if you're not pandemicked?
I work at Hitachi, which is an automotive manufacturing plant. We do parts, suspension parts.
Okay.
I'm in the shipping office, so I'm in charge of scheduling trucks and telling the guys on the floor what to pull when and all that kind of good stuff.
So is that parts for automobiles or for trucks or?
We sell to Ford, GM, Chrysler, Toyota.
Okay, so it's kind of across the board. So
most of what we do is for the heavy suspension vehicles.
Okay, so it's your bigger trucks and.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been there for quite a while?
I've been there for 27 years.
Well, then you've been there for a while, without question.
Yeah.
And I'll bet it's been a good place for you to be.
At first, it was wonderful. The past 10 years, it's went downhill. So, but we went, at that time, it was known as a Tokiko, which was just it was like 4 or 5 different plants around the world. Then Hitachi bought us out, and we got bigger, and everything seemed to fall apart.
Interesting.
So it become less personable.
Yeah, I worked for the phone company for 23 years. When I first started, it was United Telephone of Ohio. And when Sprint bought us out many years later, it ceased to exist as a family feeling company. So
yeah,
I can understand what you're talking about. Yeah. Corporate took over and it was totally different.
So I'm curious, in your area, did you go through the shortages where you couldn't find toilet paper and you couldn't find cleaning supplies and you couldn't get hamburger and all your milk was gone and no eggs? Did you go through all that?
Yeah, we're still at the point to where the meat supply is real low.
Okay.
Having trouble finding it.
Okay, so, and I don't know, would you mind sharing? Do you do a lot of your shopping at a local grocery store or more like a Walmart type or Myers or big box type store? Or?
We've got Walmart, Kroger's, and Save-A-Lot.
Well, so you got the big three there.
We have Kroger, Walmart, Save-A-Lot.
In the actual town that we live in, there's only Save-A-Lot.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a one stoplight town.
Oh, I see.
Nothing wrong with those.
No, not at all. Not at all. So tell
So
us.
we have to actually drive to London to go, if you want to go to Walmart or Kroger's, you have to go to London.
Yeah.
So that's what, half-hour drive or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it's not like just 5 minutes down the road.
Right.
So, a planned excursion.
Yes.
So tell us about your place. You got 10 acres. I know that.
We got 10 acres. When we bought it, there wasn't anything on the property.
The little stone building that's in the one picture, that's all that was on the property.
Is that an old well building? What is that?
It's a cold cellar.
It was actually built as a cold cellar that somebody built that in the side of the bank there.
Yeah. We're hoping to get it fixed up here before long and maybe be able to reuse it as a cold cellar.
Okay.
But we'll wait and see.
So
we moved the double wide onto the property.
So
and then
if that was built as a cold cellar, then there used to be a house there somewhere?
there used to be a house and a trailer on the property, 10, 15 years ago?
Something
Or
like
longer?
that. Yeah, something like that.
The house burned. And then that moved the trailer off. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, so you got the property, and obviously if it had a house and trailer, there were some improvements. There was a septic system, perhaps, and water, and a well, maybe,
Yeah.
and power.
There was all that on the property. City water, septic system, electric was all here. So all we had to do was connect to it all. But now we found out we've got to redo our septic system and have a new one put in
Oh, that's not fun.
this spring.
That's not fun at all.
No.
And
So-
they probably don't let you do it. Probably going to have to pay to have it done.
Yeah, we do.
And
So,
they always overcharge, I think.
Because they can.
Yeah, because they can.
Yeah.
It's because,
exactly.
it's because we want your crap.
Literally.
So what's your plans here for the remainder of this year? Assuming we get out of this, get to go back to work and stuff. You have any big plans for your property this year, or any major improvements you want to make?
Well, we've just built a chicken coop, and we've got 38 chicks and 15 hens in it right now. I've built a greenhouse and
New raised beds.
new raised beds this year. So I got to fix some of the raised beds that fell apart when the dirt got dumped in them, but
The guy that was moving the dirt, he overfilled the beds because we were not here when he came, and he put too much dirt in them. And
Just exploded.
yes,
Yeah.
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 Good help is hard to find, is it not?
yeah.
so true.
The guy we wanted to do it, we thought moved away because we hadn't heard from him in a while. And then after it was done, she saw him down at the store, and he hadn't moved away.
Ah. So
The way it always goes.
so did you get his contact information? So if you need him again, you got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
We gotta wait. We got stuff for him to do. We're just waiting for it to dry up a little bit now before he can come down and do it.
Well, if you've got 10 acres, is part of it woods, or is it just 10 acres of field? Do you rent some of it out?
9 acres of it's on a hillside, and it's all wooded.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Now, is it mature woods? I mean, are you looking at a nice little stand of timber there that you can harvest?
In about 10 years.
So we had somebody come in and look at it last summer,
Okay.
and he said it was timbered several years ago before we moved in.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it'll be a while before it's ready again.
So they went in and pretty well made it bare before. They didn't selectively cut it and leave some medium trees so they could do it every 7 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is a shame.
Eventually, we're hoping to get maybe some goats up on the hillside and let them go through and clear it out a little bit.
So
Goats or pigs or something.
So I'm guessing when you say it's a hill, it is a hill. This is not something. I mean, it would be all we'd want to do to walk up and down it. I'm guessing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like looking at a gully, only it's going up.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been up it once, and I almost dread if I go up it again.
So, and obviously I didn't, and looking at your videos, it almost looks like you're down from the road, like the road's up a little bit. So does it kind of curve down and then it goes up behind your house? Is that what it does?
Yeah, it goes down, and then it levels out where we got the house, and then we got a creek about 10 feet behind the house. And then on the other side of the creek, it goes up.
Okay.
There's a question here for you, asking if you have any animals and what all do you have in your garden?
We have the chickens. And we have a cat that's inside, and then we have one dog outside. And then in the garden, we've got peppers if they survive the cold from this cold snap.
Yeah.
So
And
was everything planted in your garden?
no.
Good for you.
Strawberries and asparagus, garlic.
We had carrots, but a mole and the dog took care of them.
Oh my.
Yeah. My cabbage moles have been destroying the bed that has cabbage in it, and the dog decided it was going to take care of the mole, and he got in there and
Gosh.
dug the whole bed up and the carrot bed.
You know, I'm trying to remember who it was, but I saw somebody that they were doing their raised beds, and they put a stainless, I think it was stainless steel grating underneath the raised bed against the ground to prevent moles from coming up from underneath.
Huh.
Now, obviously, chicken wire wouldn't last. And Melissa Abera, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining the Smudges Peoples.
Yeah, I noticed on the video that your garlic and your onions are doing fantastic.
Yeah, they don't seem to want to bother them too much.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's usually what makes it in our garden. Was it last year, 2 years ago? Everything else was
Those moles
gone.
just have no taste.
Yeah. Because it was last year, 2 years ago, we lost all our other vegetables from moles and groundhogs and whatever else decided to visit when we weren't out in the garden. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got tomato plants and some other plants that's not been set out yet, so hopefully next week we'll get those put out.
Yeah, I think if I looked at the weather correctly, this, for us anyway, this is supposed to be our last cold snap of the season. From here on in, it's supposed to be like up in 83 by Saturday. Yep, sounds like Ohio.
Yeah.
It's crazy. How many raised beds do you have?
Oh, goodness. 3, 6, 7, 8, 12, I think. 12 or 13.
Wow.
We had one big one last year, and we only had it about half full of dirt. So this year we decided to tear down the half that wasn't full of dirt and redo them a different way. And then this fall, after everything she has planted in is done, we're going to tear those up and redo those to match the others. So we like them better.
So what's your favorite thing to grow in your garden?
Oh, I don't know. We like tomatoes pretty well.
Probably tomatoes and squash.
Oh, yeah. I love to have homegrown fresh tomatoes.
I think tomatoes seems to be the
Just give me a salt shaker and let me go out
the
roaming in the
overall
garden.
favorite. The overall biggest favorite for folks.
Yeah.
Do you do canning?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay, so you don't just have to gorge yourself on all your garden stuff, and so you don't waste it. You can can it and spread it out over the year.
Okay. Can all the tomatoes or whatever else I've got. I'll can.
So do you make any secret sauces that you want to share with anybody?
I'll make hot sauce, and I'll make tomato sauce, and
I know she makes wonderful sweets. I can remember at the.
I'll tell you. You know that little bit in their promo thing there. Those chocolates look like they came out of a very expensive store.
Yeah.
You just do a fabulous job on those things.
Well, at the Heartland Homesteaders picnic in September, that hotter than Hades Saturday, they had to put a lot of their stuff in the cooler just so it wouldn't melt.
Yep. But no, you make some fab, and I understand you bake as much as you do make candy too.
yes, I do. I make about anything you want. Anything from cakes to pies, cheesecakes, whatever. Breads, rolls.
She's an awesome baker. Just from from that.
Yeah, Sherry's sitting over here. She's an awesome baker.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. Absolutely, she is.
Mm-hmm.
So is this and you market these goods at I know we briefly talked, you market them at some horse shows, but what about other events? Do they have like farmers markets that you go to? And
Yes, I do farmers market also.
okay.
And all the different, well, of course, the fairs, other different shows that is around local that we'll go to, festivals and stuff, and I take stuff and sell.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Very neat. Very neat.
Naked Gardener, Sydney, and Tori, what vegetables do you have the most trouble growing?
Last year we couldn't grow a zucchini at all. I don't know why. They just would not come up. I never had a problem with them till last year. That's the only thing I've ever had any problems actually growing. Most of the time, don't have any problems with anything. It usually comes up pretty easily. And now this year, if it wasn't for the critters getting into the raised beds, my broccoli and cauliflower and cabbages and all that stuff, I'm not going to have any because of it.
Melissa's asking if you do mail order.
I wish I could. It's just very expensive to ship.
What animals do you wish you could have that you do not have currently?
Oh, I wish I could have goats right now where we could start on the hillside to be able to get some of the work on the hillside, getting it cleaned off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just right now it's just not feasible to get it.
Of course, you're going to have to make a trip on that hillside first and get a fence up there before you put goats on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's going to have to be a good fence with goats.
Yeah.
Those are escape artists.
Right.
Do you have any outbuildings here? I mean, do you have like a small barn or anything, or is that something else that you're looking for?
That's his next chore, is to build a
Storage building, basically.
Oh, that's on his honeydew list.
Yeah. Yeah. That's next on.
While he's taking a vacation from work, you got it all planned that he's going to build a structure here.
Yes.
Well, he already did the greenhouse, so that's out. I have to think of some other structures.
Oh, did you get that greenhouse finished?
Yeah, we finished it yesterday.
Oh.
We built the tables inside of it and covered it in plastic. So it's now done.
Just in time for the freeze.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got it covered in plastic just before the wind picked up. So that was a good thing.
Yep, that sure was. Naked Gardener, they're on 10 acres. But on that 10 acres, apparently, what do you say, 9 of it? 9 of it is vertical.
And wooded.
And wooded.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'd say what meetup are they going to next, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
Well, we were planning on going to
Tennessee.
Western Tennessee this past weekend.
Yep.
But that fell through.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
I think a lot of it would have been really cold.
Yeah. Well, even the one in Michigan for July, Pratt family, they've already canceled theirs.
yeah.
And that was July. I'm still hanging on to ours for June 6th, and that's coming up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know
So-
yet about that.
So that
Yeah, we're hoping to come up there.
Yeah. I didn't hear what the governor said today, what he said about if they've said anything about, opening up anything aside from restaurants and salons. So, crossing my fingers. What are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years?
Hey, some of these folks will ask you some very tough questions. You're just getting started.
get our gardens, get more raised beds built, so we can try to be more self-sufficient. Try to get the hill cleaned off, get goats, fenced so we can get goats, maybe some pigs. So, trying to be more self-sufficient.
We do have 100 meetings coming in 1st of June.
100?
100.
Wow.
And you ordered a large freezer too, then I take it.
We're getting ready to.
To go along with the other two that we already have.
People are finding it hard to come by freezers now.
Yeah, freezers
Yeah.
are in short supply.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe you'll have to build a walk-in freezer instead of a shed.
Don't give her any more ideas. I don't know where I'd put it.
You'll have to build the shed to put the freezer in.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Yep. Can't get the cart before the horse. Did I say that right? Yeah. I said that right. Solar panels.
Yeah, that's to come eventually. Just don't know how soon.
Oh, you're looking at some potential solar down the road?
We'd like to.
So you live on the south side of that hill?
Yeah.
Look at him thinking. Look at him thinking. I got him.
Yeah.
I think so.
The west side of the hill.
On the west side, okay.
Yeah.
So just glancing back through here, seeing if there's any questions anybody's asked that we've missed. I'm not seeing anything. So, what made you decide to become a homesteader? Or maybe you haven't, I don't know. Do you consider yourselves homesteaders?
Yes.
Okay, so what made you decide to become a homesteader?
Well,
I've always wanted to do this. This is what I've always wanted to do. I grew up having chickens and so on when I was a kid, and we of course had gardens, and we would Dad always hunted and that kind of stuff, but we didn't raise pigs or anything, but we always had them slaughtered. He would buy them and have them slaughtered, and then we'd put the meat away and that kind of stuff. But this is what I've always wanted. Now, for Rob, I think it's a little different.
I didn't know if I wanted to or not.
So you didn't have a farming background?
No, growing up, we had gardens.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good-sized garden. My grandparents had a good-sized garden. But, I mean, I helped take care of and stuff. But, I don't know. I just had never thought about it. Doing it. But then we got to where we were buying the fresh eggs and stuff like that.
Right.
It's just so much better.
Are you gonna process the chickens yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And Cecilia Jansen is in here and says that she loves your baking videos, but your quantities are always for a large amount. If you could, at least wise maybe in the description or something for a smaller batch, the ingredients. Apparently that's a want for people that don't have, 5 kids and 2 grandkids and
or cooking or baking for
or baking
for a show
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's on the wish list out here for you.
Okay, I can see what I can do about that. I'm so used to baking for large amounts that's what I always do. And
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think it's easier to cook big meals in big dishes and stuff. I think it's easier to do that. That's just my opinion.
I agree, it is. And that's what I've always done. I've been doing it for many years. And I worked in a bakery for several years, so...
Now, I know according to your About Me, you guys have 5 kids. Is that right? 5 children?
We do have 5 kids together.
And how can you share their ages, or they're not all in diapers, I hope.
Not the ones I met.
We have Samantha, she's 28. Barbara Ann, she is 20. And Colin is 15. Cadence is 13. And then Willie is 11.
See, that was a trick question. I was just seeing if you knew how old they were.
And then Samantha's got 2.
Araya's just turned 8. And
Zeke's 2.
Zeke is 2.
And those are the grandkids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the ones you get to give back.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Questions asked, where would your ideal homestead place be?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. We've talked about going some different places, like in the future, moving somewhere, and we just can't nail down a place where we want to go. We've thought about West Virginia, because I've got family back deep in the mountains in West Virginia, and it's just so beautiful back there. But I don't know. Sometimes we've talked about going west.
You know, some people, I mean, I've talked with people and they say, I know that, you know, I have this desire to move out west, to Arizona, for example. Or maybe, you know, we want to relocate to Arkansas, or we want to relocate to Texas.
Yeah.
Some people say they want to go to Florida. Some people say they want to go up to Michigan. I look at these places. We visit a lot of these places. A lot of these places are great, fabulous, nice. But man, maybe it's because I've been here well over 60 years. I guess I'm stuck. just not sure if I want to go or not. But the cold weather is making us really, really think stronger about. At least was maybe going south in the cold times, and then I don't know. Don't know what we're going to do yet. So you're in a double wide, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that so? The shed that you're talking about building, is this going to be more of like a small barn? Or do you know? Is it still kind of up in the air?
It's going to be a 3-bay building.
Oh, okay.
2 of the bays are going to be closed in. One to keep like the feed in and stuff. One to put my tools and all that stuff in. And then the one that's not closed in will be for like the lawnmower and rototiller and weed eater, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so it'd be a shelter for the tools.
Yeah.
And then the hand tools and stuff, you'll have a closed-in area. Yeah. Sounds very nice. Is this going to be a like a pole barn type building? Is that what you're thinking?
It is. It's a pole barn, and then we've got a lumber yard that's not too far from us that sells bundles of lumber, rough cut lumber.
Okay.
It's not. So that's what we built the chicken coop out of. Was that. But they sell them. They're not very expensive, and they're big bundles.
What kind of wood is it?
What was it?
White oak and red oak.
Yeah.
Oh, white oak and red oak.
Yeah.
That's some nice wood.
Yeah. But it's rough cut. You don't know what size you're getting, so it's kind of like putting a jigsaw puzzle together.
You almost have to have a set of wood tools just to, I want to say, size it up equal to use better, to make better use of it.
Yeah.
So do you do any woodworking?
Not really. This is the most I've ever done. Now, my dad and my grandfather did it as a profession. My dad helped him, so between the two of them, that's where I've learned some of my skills from.
Okay.
And some of it I just throw it together and hope it fits.
Well, sometimes that's not a bad way to do it.
Yeah. And if it don't, you snip a little bit here or snip a little bit there, make it fit. I've enjoyed my time off and doing stuff like that, though.
Well, yeah, and the weather's not been real conducive to getting probably as much work done as what you'd like to get done.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because most weeks it rains 2 or 3 days a week, and that just kills everything.
Yeah, that's the situation we're at. We're at here that we have really done nothing in the garden.
Was it Saturday that it poured?
Yeah, I think it was Saturday it poured.
Yesterday afternoon, because the kids stopped.
And then yesterday afternoon
They
it
left.
poured again.
Yeah. Just opened
Yeah.
up.
And it snowed today.
It did?
Yeah. Not enough to stick, but
Well. And then it's supposed to be like 83 by Saturday.
And I said it's supposed to get warm here in the next couple days. And
Yep.
but
crazy.
we have not even started in the garden. I mean, it's just the weeds are doing wonderful. We're going to have a bountiful crop of weeds this year.
Well, I can find rhubarb.
Rhubarb's out there.
I can see where the horseradish is coming up.
Horseradish is there.
I haven't seen any asparagus tips yet. There's garlic from last year and onions from last year that I didn't dig up, so I got those.
That's one thing nice about the raised beds. They drain pretty well when it does rain. So we can still get in and work it.
Well, we have a combination in our garden. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 raised beds. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, now let's get this straight.
All right. I'm going to get
what you built me is not raised beds.
All right.
When you still have to bend over or get down on your knees to do the gardening, that's not raised beds.
They are higher than the surrounding ground.
A piece of wood.
Well, yes.
So how's that a raised bed?
Well, it's raised off the ground.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I got to get Sydney out here or somebody to help me. Somebody's got to stand up for me here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our raised beds are all about 2 foot tall.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as we drove in and parked at Reap What You Sow last July in Louisiana, that's what her raised beds are. They are deep. But then they have all this land and the tractor that they can get the dirt and put it in there. But no. Yeah,
That's been our problem, is getting the dough.
Yes, frame beds. That's what we have. We have those fancy, modern framed beds, the high dollar ones.
Next subject.
Am I winning?
No.
Oh.
No. Sydney, I feel your pain, Daryl. Don't you start, Sydney.
Oh my. So anyway, we did a few years ago. We had the most beautiful early spring. We went out and had the garden all ready. We had good weather. Matter of fact, the weather was so nice and we wanted to get going so badly. We didn't even mess around with seeds to speak of. Oh, I guess a few in the garden, but we actually bought flats of plants and just planted the whole garden. And what was it? A week later? Was it a week later that we had bolts of material that we were unrolling, trying to cover all the plants, and we still lost them all?
Yeah, that was because we planted them before Mother's Day. We refused to do that. There. Uh-huh. Sydney wants to get out of town, and Melissa's giving you a phrase there.
My raised beds are between 5 inches and 10. Well, it fits just like hers. Because hers are easily 5 inches. Why are you batting your eyes at me?
Because I have to blink.
Oh my goodness. So, were you able to just get the dirt for your raised beds out of your property there? Or did you have to buy some supplemental soil to fill. That's the biggest thing I can see. If I were to build these beds the way she wants them, I have two choices. I either have to go spend a bucket load of money to go buy the dirt, or I have to lower the ground. That's an idea. I could just lower the ground. I could just dig. If I dig trenches through the walkways, that'll make the beds higher, right? And if we do this right,
You should probably try another subject.
and if we do this right with this, if I do the walkways right and they're going down 2 foot, I can just run the hose out there and we can
Aquaponics.
aquaponics.
We had to buy our dirt.
We had 8 ton
Whoa.
this year.
Yeah. And that's a lot of shoveling.
That's why we had somebody come and put it in the beds for us.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that then. Wow. Sydney's last statement.
Well, it kind of made sense to me that if you want higher beds, you could have that option where the walkways could be lowered.
Okay. There's a shovel. 2 shovels out of the front porch. Do you want to start this tomorrow?
Well, I guess the sooner you start, the sooner you get done.
Bill, I think you're digging yourself in a hole.
It's that hole he's talking about.
It's not the first time. Not the first time. Good heavens.
You haven't seen that cartoon on Facebook where the husband wonders what the wife's going to plant in that big hole she dug? Him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to have a new doghouse partner tonight.
Okay, Ruben, Southwest Texas, is wanting to know how much you have to shell out to obtain this dirt. If you don't mind sharing, I mean, you can also say, well, it's none of your business, and that's fine too.
This dirt we got this year was $100 for a truckload, which was 4 ton,
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
and it's good, rich, composted topsoil. So, I mean, it was almost black, or it is almost black.
Yeah, we live fairly close, well, right outside of Mansfield, Ohio, and the city has a program going right now where they have free mulch.
Yep.
Or free
compost.
Free compost.
But we're not in the city.
But we're not in the city, so we don't qualify. But they have you can get 5 yards free. Is that what it was?
I don't need a yard. I got a yard.
5. I think you can get 5 yards of that free, but we're not in town. We're in the country, even though we get treated like we're in the city because we're in this plotted development, which means that because we have less than an acre, we can't have animals, we can't do this, we can't do that. Technically, I can burn, but we got a bitchy neighbor behind us that just calls the fire department if I strike a match. And
Do they still burn witches at the stake?
I don't know. But, oh goodness.
You had enough now, Sydney? You caused all this trouble. You leaving?
Well, thank you for stopping by. You helped bury me. Just go running off now. All right. So, do you know, have you lost opportunities as of yet for your selling of your baked goods, or is that just really not kicked in yet because of the season?
Well, it's really not started yet.
But the farmers market's not opening until later this year.
Yeah, our farmers market's not opening for at least a month later than what it normally does.
Okay.
Usually opens in May. Should be opening this week, and it's actually about 2 months late.
Yeah.
It's not opening until the last of June.
Wow.
So, which is crazy. So I was selling, our selling season is going to be cut short this year.
Right.
By at least 2 months, which is, I can't believe they're cutting it that short.
All right. Now here's for a real thoughtful question for you. The name of your property there has a bird in it, raven. Now, is that because there's ravens in your neighborhood there, or is this have some other meaning from way back? Or I'm just curious.
We were brainstorming ideas. Excuse me. And I'm not sure where Raven come from, but
See, it's sort of like our name.
I guess it was something that we come up with and said, well, that sounds good, and we like it.
Be right back.
So,
I was just kind of curious because I didn't know if that was maybe, some people, maybe if there's bald eagles or something in their area, or some other type of wildlife, they would name their property after them. Matter of fact, Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead, that was called what? Bluebird Acres?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the actual name of their farm. I think it's Bluebird Acres. But so I was just kind of curious to see what you were going with that. So do you hunt, Rob?
I haven't. I'm thinking about going this year. I know we've got deer on the property, so I'm very seriously thinking about it going this year.
Well, if
I've never owned a shotgun till recently, or a rifle till recently, so I haven't had the capabilities of going.
So, even as a young person, you've not been hunting? I mean, will this be totally new to you, or?
Yeah, this will be totally new to me.
Well, I'm guessing that you might have some neighbors there or something that would be willing to take you under their arm and kind of give you some of the.
Yeah. Becky's got a cousin.
Okay.
That invited me to go with him last year. I just couldn't get the time off work to go last year. So I'm trying to save some time up this year. That way I can say, hey, is that invite still open? So he can take me out and kind of show me the ropes.
So are you thinking deer, or you thinking like maybe duck hunting or pheasant, or
probably deer or turkey?
Deer or turkey, okay.
Because I know we've got both around here. We've got some other stuff around here too, but I get in trouble if I killed it. So we've got a panther that runs the mountains or the hillside.
A panther.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a couple bobcats that run the hillside, but
Well, I would think, I could be wrong, but aren't the bobcats, wouldn't that be considered to be a nuisance animal?
I don't know if they're a nuisance or if they're endangered.
I'm not real sure either.
No.
How about fishing?
Yeah.
How about fishing? Are you a fisherman?
I do like to fish. I haven't been in 5 or 6 years, but yeah, I like to fish. And just not much around here to go unless I go for drive an hour or two.
So in other words, you got a ways to go to get there. Whereas you can just sit out on your back porch and shoot up the hill and have a deer roll down and stop beside your porch there, and you could just kind of hang it up and skin it. And
or maybe even be down at the creek drinking and let him float down creek to where I want him.
there you go. So anyway, we're looking here if anybody out there has any more questions, we can certainly entertain them here. And it's really kind of been a very interesting evening. Find out a little bit more about this young couple in Kentucky here. Where did we meet you first? Was it at the picnic?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
picnic and then Stivers.
Yeah. So we met you first at the picnic, and then we saw you again at Stivers, and yeah.
That was at Stivers where I got my sign. Where her daughter painted me the Ohio sign.
Yes. We have a sign. Matter of fact, it's right over there.
Where?
Isn't it right over here?
Couldn't find it.
All right. Take over.
Take over. Jessica's asking, what's your favorite recipe to make?
Oh, goodness. I don't know, I have so many.
Favorite recipe to eat's anything Mexican.
Aha! I hear you. And what are your favorite things to grow? Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
The tomatoes is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's me. Can't see the whole thing though. Just can see HOM. Now we can't see the H. This is what their daughter made for me that they gave me at the Harvest Festival in November at the Stivers meetup. That thing is heavy, but I love it.
Well, we could raise one of your garden beds with that thing.
Not touching that little garden bed. Not. Nice try, though.
I was trying.
You tried. Oh. And you have 2 grandkids, right?
Yes.
2 grandkids, yeah. Oh, Jessica, it is beautiful. I mean, I was in tears when she handed me that. Like I said, that puppy's heavy. I had it at the end of the hallway leading against the wall into the pantry. I think that's where I may keep it, because you can see it best back there. Yeah. I thought that was cool. So any other questions? Put them in all caps. Got a few moments left here with our wonderful guests, Becky and Rob. Hopefully we'll get to see them again this year.
Well, I think that so far the picnic is still a go.
Yes, at September.
Yeah, so that's still a go. I think that Isn't Doug and Stacy's thing?
Doug and Stacy's still a go in August.
That's still a go.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think Stivers are going to do one.
I don't know. They were in here a little bit ago, but they I don't think anything's been mentioned yet.
I'm just wondering if he knew this was coming. That's why they didn't plan something. I'll talk with him.
I knew ahead of time of this. Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. So, what do you think?
I think I'm getting sore.
Yep. So you guys got any?
Oh, Paul was asking, how do you heat your house?
We got a heat pump for heat and air for right now.
Okay, so it's electric heat then?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've kind of established
like we'd like to be.
We've established that your woods isn't mature enough yet to buy you a sawmill, and that'll be what, another 10 years or so, you said?
Yeah.
So, not seeing any. Brett, this Brett said his Tennessee Living. He works at a manufacturing plant for heavy-duty suspension parts. See, I saved you from having to go through that again, Rob.
Thank you.
Oh, did they? Okay, Mama Z. See, I haven't heard that. Okay.
So, do you guys have any questions for any of these folks out in the chat? You know, this is a two-way street. We're just, Sherry and I are just the policemen standing in the middle waving the flags.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, with this cold snap, Brenda's been back to feeding the stoves, so she hasn't gotten any sleep again.
Ah. Okay. Well, listen, it's been a really nice evening. Sherry is still in the recovery portion here, where she's trying to get a little bit more comfortable.
I'm not taking any oxy, so.
Is that a first? Well, and you're still talking good. You want some wine?
What do you think was in here? Coffee? I had my wine.
I think you were sneaking that when I wasn't looking.
It's my smudge cup. Oh, God.
So.
Yeah, Brenda doesn't sleep anyway. That's right, Jessica.
Okay, go ahead and wish everybody a pleasant evening or whatever. We'll do the same. And anything else you can think of?
How long have you lived on your homestead?
2 years. Not long.
Tigger, when I can spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce or whatever, I add lemon juice. Silly enough, so I can can it.
Oh, did we want to maybe show one of these?
Wonder what? Yes, because I mentioned if people saw that at the end of the promo, that you are making those for window decals if anyone is interested. Daryl's been playing around, and the folks that have ordered masks from us and that has had them personalized with their logos know what we're talking about. In fact, I think
Okay, so here's what it is.
Mama Z's, they just got theirs on Saturday.
Okay, and this is my own design, where I crafted the gun. I rolled up all the paper into a ball here and put 2020 on it. Stuck the gun through it. It's been officially okay, I guess. So I have it both directions. So, and I'm thinking that the ideal size is about 3 inches wide, so you can put it on your shirt sleeve, and you can put one on each side with the guns pointing forward to the back, whatever your choice is, but that way you can have guns for your guns.
Or a window sticker if you want a window sticker.
Or a window sticker, truck decal.
Right.
So if anybody has an interest, I'd be more than happy to fix you up with something like that. And would certainly appreciate it.
And next week's guest, Brenda and Paul from Duncan 1900 Homestead. So Brenda, you need to make sure either there's no more fires going, you don't have to do any wood burners, or tell one of the kids they have to do that for the next hour.
Okay, so that's pretty much it.
That's it.
All right. Well, I do want to remind the folks here, just something to think about for the rest of the week. If one door closes and another one opens, your house is probably haunted. Have a good evening.